Well, we're here today on this lovely Dutch summer's day to introduce the Vredestein shooting brake. And well, it's quite a sight here, right in the sunlight, to see it for the first time alive, to see the surfacing working with the paint job that is fully bespoke. Standing now here next to the car and seeing the sunlight play with the surfacing. What I'm most proud of would be what we call internally bolt chrome. The chrome that runs from the A-pillar, the OEM A-pillar, all the way back here towards the D-pillar. A very outspoken, very three-dimensional piece of chrome. Especially coming closer, there's a lot of sculpture integrated in this piece of chrome, one of the biggest pieces of chrome in the industry. And it runs very organically into the rear spoiler here with this lovely facet here. Again, tying the side of the car into the rear of the car and again into the other side. The surfacing, especially of the hip here, that runs right around the car over there, is another, I think, well executed piece of design that, together with the coach builder Vredestein, we managed to pull off.
Als een jongensdroom die uitkomt, is gewoon fantastisch. Na al die jaren gedroomd te hebben van een shooting brake, nu eindelijk mijn eigen ontwerp shooting brake te hebben. Hij is echt precies de goede evenwicht in de auto die ik zoek. Ja, de kleur is heel goed uitgekomen. Ik ben echt super blij.
Automotive designers see cars basically in three different stages. First, about 10 meters distance, it's proportioned. It tells you something about the type of car, the character. Then the second layer is surfacing, the skin of the car. For instance, the hips here. And then another layer, even closer, about 10 centimeters distant, would be the jewelry. For instance, badges, chrome strips, etc. Talking about the badge here specifically, just like the car, it's handmade by craftspeople. The black does look black in most of the cases, but it's actually a deep black chrome. So depending on the light, sometimes there's this little sparkle of chrome. And then even closer, the white is enamel. It's being put there by hand by craftspeople, meaning that every single badge is actually slightly off. It's slightly different. It's not entirely perfect, and that's what makes it perfect in my eyes. And this is a highly bespoke color. The owner, in first instance, bought the car actually in Tesla British Racing Green, perhaps even a nod to the shooting brakes and the whereabouts, you could say, of shooting brakes. Obviously, Great Britain is the country, the place where the most beautiful and unique shooting brakes have ever been made. However, despite the fact that the British Racing Green that was present on this car is quite a nice color, it's not as bespoke as the rest of the car. So when discussing that with the client, we actually came up with this particular color. After many tryouts, obviously, many samples, the color actually tells you something about the character of the car, the character of the owner in particular. What it does, very lovely, is showcasing the surfacing we designed in London and the coach builder Vredestein built in their studio. The color really complements the design and the craftsmanship.
Dus eigenlijk is het gekomen door, in mijn studententijd had ik al heel veel interesse in elektrische voertuigen. Heb ik geprobeerd om een eend hybride elektrisch te maken met achterin een elektromotor. En dat is toen niet gelukt. Maar ik heb altijd die liefde voor shooting brakes en elektrische voertuigen gehad. Dus toen ik uiteindelijk het project ging aanpakken, serieus, toen dacht ik ja, dan moet je ook die shooting brake die wil maken, die moet ook echt elektrisch zijn.
Welcome to the interior of our shooting brake, where we've made some small changes to the standard Tesla interior. To start with, the owner requested a steering wheel that was color matched to the light beige interior of this car. And then on the leather seats we see piping that matches the exact bespoke color of the exterior that the owner likes so much. And then last but not least, there's a lovely Easter egg hidden away from sight, only there to see when the owner takes something out of the glove compartment. A highly bespoke interior, specifically made for one owner. Proportion, surfacing and jewelry have always been on our number one priority list, but above that is the client. And now seeing the client being joined with his creation, his own ideas being brought to life by the designers in London and the coach builders in the Netherlands, well, that is where it's all about. Seeing his happy face and him being very happy with our co-creation, there's nothing that any designer would want to wish more.
Ik vind de bovenlijn, die lange bovenlijn die zo doorloopt, vind ik ontzettend mooi. Die trekt de auto in de lengte. En aan de achterkant de lijn die helemaal doorloopt. En natuurlijk waar we veel om gedaan is tijdens het hele proces, de ruitenwisser. Want een shooting brake, die hoort een ruitenwisser te hebben. Hij zit verborgen onder een spoiler. Helaas blijkt nu dat hij eigenlijk helemaal niet nodig is. Want het design is zo goed gedaan, de aerodynamiek is zo goed berekend door Remetscar, dat als ik rij, komt er geen druppel op de achteruit. Dus alleen maar nodig bij de stoplicht.
This is a one-off. Currently, we've opened orders for maximum 20 cars. And after this, we will actually be building from our own design studio in London different cars based on different high-end automobiles. What specifically we will do, I cannot tell you yet, but please watch this space because it's going to get pretty interesting.